Alright guys, well, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today. For this one, we are doing another little out and about video. For this one, I am in Birmingham, England's second city, and we're going to have a little look at this place behind me, Brew in Digbeth. So yeah, we'll do as we always do. We'll go in, have a little look around, try some different beers, have something to eat. And yeah, there will be some special guests in this video. So I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get started. Catch you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so yeah, we're in quite an industrial area here in Birmingham. This is Digbeth. So yeah, we're at Brew. You basically walk straight in here. You can see they've got the nice little neon sign saying that things are open. They've got some tables and stuff through here. As you can see when you walk in, some nice fermentation tanks. The bar is right here. We've got Harry chilling. And then when you come up here, you've got a little bit of Sabbath, because it is Birmingham and home to Black Sabbath. You've got some of the lager tanks over here. And as you can see, the pizza kitchen is just up here, but apparently they are not serving any more food because we're in here just after 9 o'clock, so that's kind of disappointing actually. But yeah, a nice little place, and I do appreciate the Sabbath thing. But yeah, as you can see, quite a few different fermenters in here. There's the brew kit, of course, and yeah, we also have. That's mine, okay. We also have our good friend Adam from Mersey Beers just collecting things from the bar. I don't know what he's bought now, but he's bought something that's probably going to be lethal. So yeah, is it lethal?
It's good, but it's a bit cold.
It's a bit cold, okay. We'll get started on these in a little second then. Let's do this. But yeah, here is Adam of Mersey Beers, finally on my channel. There we go. Hello. Alright guys, well, time for our first tasting then here at Brew. So the beer that we've gone for was actually chosen by Harry. So this one is the Surf, a West Coast Pale Ale, 5% ABV. Should be quite nice. Not too often you come across a West Coast Pale Ale these days. So yeah, as you can see and as you would expect, nice kind of darker yellow colour this one. Quite clear. When it poured, it had about half finger of frothy, I would say, cream colour head on it. Harry had a little sip on it before I got to it, so it's all good, you know. But yeah, quite active in its carbonation. I think you guys can see that a little bit. So yeah, this one has Chinook, Bravo and Centennial in it. So we know Chinook quite well, 14% alpha acid, big sort of grapefruit type things, a lot of pine resin. Bravo, quite a popular bittering hop actually, but it does have a wee bit of tropical note to it as well. Then Centennial, another American hop, big kind of lemony notes. So this should be quite nice. So let's have a little look at the nose and see how we go.
It's sour, not
so yeah, aroma-wise, it's pretty much what you would expect from a West Coast Pale Ale. In the malt base, there's a nice little bit of breadiness to it. Certainly a wee bit of fresh bread crust, some fresh white bread. I do get a little bit of brown bread out of this one as well. But on top of that, wee bit of sweet caramel, some nice McVitie's digestive biscuit. Yeah, kind of everything you would expect from the West Coast Pale Ale in the malt base. As I say, not had one of these for quite a wee while. But if you think about New Barnes Brewery up in Edinburgh, in the motherland of Scotland, it's not a million miles away from those. On the hoppy side of things, there's definitely a wee bit of earthiness there, but because of the Chinook presence, I'm getting a lot of pine resin. Yeah, getting a lot of pine resin out of this one. Good little bit of floral aromaticity. Yeah, pine resin, floral aromaticity, some nice bright zesty grassy character as well. Yeah, everything you would want from a more West Coasty type pale ale, this one. On the fruity side of things, there's a good little bit of grapefruit to this one. I'm getting a wee touch of orange out of it as well, which is interesting considering that it doesn't have like Mosaic or Amarillo or something inside it. but I'm also getting a good bit of lemony character from the Centennial, which is good too. So I wonder if the Bravo is giving that wee impression of kind of orangey character. So yeah, aroma-wise, this is everything you would expect from a West Coast Pale Ale. But yeah, let's have a taste of this one and see how we get on. So yeah, this is the Surf, a 5% West Coast Pale Ale coming in. Yeah, should be very, very nice. It smells very good. Slange skull. Yeah, that's really nice actually. I mean, straight away with this beer, you get that lovely kind of wet, slightly oily texture that you would expect of the West Coast Pale Ale. And it has got a wee bit of bitterness to it as well, so it's not like one of these kind of new school West Coast Pale Ales. It does give you what you want, especially when there's a bit of Chinook in this. You do expect a bit of a punch, to be honest with you. So yeah, malt base with this one. Lovely little bit of kind of fresh brown bready bread crust, absolutely. Yeah, little bit of brown bread crust on the base, some white bread on top of that. In the middle third of your palate, you do get a little bit of a straight up caramel, but then as you progress further into the aftertaste with this one, there's a little bit of kind of McVitie's digestive biscuity sort of thing coming out of the beer. So yeah, that's quite nice. On the back third of the palate, there's a wee bit of a more kind of grainy bready character coming out of this one. So yeah, a little bit of a grainy bready sort of thing, a little bit more kind of dry and things as you go further back on this one. But yeah, I like how that goes together. On the green component, in the back corners of the palate, there is a little bit of earthiness there. As you come further forward, it gets progressively more sort of piney and resinous thanks to the Chinook presence. And then round the front curve of the palate, it's a little bit lighter and sort of grassy. It's almost a bit zesty, and I think that would be down to both the Bravo and the Centennial in this beer. But yeah, for a West Coast Pale Ale, it delivers on the kind of the kind of bitterness that you want, and it also delivers on the malty side of things. On the fruity side of the beer, the front third of your palate, it's got a nice fruity oiliness to it. So at the back of that front third of your palate, there's definitely a wee bit of a grapefruity presence. As you come further forward, it gets a little bit more kind of like figgy. It almost has a little bit of that cascadey type presence. But then as you move toward the very front tip of the tongue, it's a lot more kind of lemony and things like that. So that's the Centennial giving you that actually. Yeah, flavour-wise, this is very nice, like a proper old school West Coast Pale Ale. This one, I like it for sure. Yeah, this is good. Certainly like how this beer goes about its business. Mouthfeel-wise, I would say, mouthfeel-wise, it's bottom end to mid-bodied, smooth carbonation, quite oily, quite wet. IBU-wise, I think this is about 60, maybe 70 IBUs, something like that. The malt base is nice and smooth, little touch oily, a little bit sweet. Then the fruity side of things is really leaning toward that more citrusy, zesty side of things too. Yeah, I think that says everything we need to say about this beer. But we do have a little bit of another version to try this one. We have a slushy version, because with this one you can try it with a lime slush top. So let's have a wee look at this, why not? Yeah, with a lime slush top, it doesn't change all that much, to be quite honest with you. If I have the slush just on its own, yeah, it's actually just a little bit like a slush puppy. So yeah, I guess if you mix this together a little bit, as we're going to do, you start to get a wee bit more lime out of it. So yeah, that is quite interesting. Also, the lime slush edition of the Surf West Coast Pale Ale. Yeah, one of the more unusual things I've done here on the Out and About videos. But I think we can leave it at that for our first tasting here at Dig Brew. So catch you guys in a second with the next one. That was the Surf 5% ABV. Alright guys, well a little look then at the tap list here at Digbeth, and we are here on the 1st of July 2022. So yeah, we have the Potion, which is a pale ale, the Hyper Potion, a 6.5% evolved version of the Potion, Max Potion as well, which is a double IPA but only 7.5% ABV. They have the Pueblo, a new summer pale ale, Optimo, which is just some kind of craft beer apparently. We have the Operation Burn the Sun, another double IPA. We have Cancun, a Mexican lager, which sounds as if it could be quite nice. We have the Surf West Coast Pale Ale, the Milk Plus, which is a beautifully smooth, simple stout, and the Mr. Wood Four Roses, a barley wine. So we'll see what beers we're actually going to have a look at here. But yeah, as you can see, prices are quite reasonable, about £2 for 1/3 of a pint. So that is roughly, you know, maybe about 200 millilitres, something like that, in that region. So that is going to be maybe about €2.40, $2.40 American, somewhere in the region of 25 Swedish krona, just for those of you who are wondering. But you can also get some slushy versions of the beers as well, the mango slush top and also the lime slush top. So it is quite unique actually. Interesting. Alright guys, well, time for the second and penultimate beer here then at Digbeth. So this is one that I actually wish I'd noticed on the tap list before I did the first one. So this particular beer is called Cancun. It's a Mexican style lager beer, and this one has corn in it, so this should be quite interesting. So just to let you have a little closer look at the glassware here at Digbeth. So they do have a little bit of this kind of Day of the Dead theme. So yeah, say and die. I do quite like it. So this is 1/3 of a pint. As you can see, when it's poured, it's come out with a lovely 1/3 finger of a frothy, I would say perfect white head. And as you would expect from any kind of Mexican lager, it's a lovely pale golden straw colour. Yeah, good little bit of carbonation visible in this one. It is crystal clear. I don't think there's anything else we need to say about the appearance of this. So let's have a wee look at the aroma of this one then and see how we go. Yeah, aroma-wise, I'm going to say straight away, this beer is extremely mild, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's not a lot to report on it. So the backbone of this beer, you do get a little bit of bread crust. There's a little bit of white bread in there. You can absolutely smell that little bit of corny sweetness out of it. On top of that, I am getting a little bit of a kind of McVitie's digestive biscuity type thing. Yeah, a little bit of McVitie's digestive biscuity kind of character, but it's that oily, corny sort of thing that you're smelling out of this one straight away. It's not a million miles away from the likes of, you know, Corona, Pacifico Clara, all of these kind of Mexican beers that you're going to come across. But that's the whole point. It is supposed to be a Mexican lager. Yeah, I mean, this one for me, I'd say on the hoppy side of things, it's got a little bit of it's not got a lot going on. There's a little bit of a earthy type thing to it, a little touch herbal, and a bit of a soft grassy kind of thing. It's more of a sort of wet hoppy character you're getting out of this rather than anything else. Yeah, on the fruity side of things, it's kind of what you'd expect. There's a little bit of that kind of peary sort of thing, a little bit of an apricot-y sort of vibe to it. Yeah, there's not a lot going on in this beer in terms of its aroma, but as a Mexican lager, you don't expect it to be the most complex of beers. This is supposed to just be a very simple, very drinkable beer in, you know, overall. So I don't think we need to say anything else about this one. So let's have a little taste of it and see how we go. So this one is the Cancun, 4.5% ABV, a Mexican lager with a little bit of corn added into the brew. Slange, skull, cheers, salud. Here we go. I'm going to say straight away, it's actually very, very nice. You know, I've been getting into lagers a lot over the last kind of 2 and a bit years, particularly because of Huni Brewery in Malmö, in my home county of Skåne in the south of Sweden. And yeah, things like this I'm really starting to appreciate. This one's really nice. It's got a good little bit of crispness to it, but at the same time, it has that little bit of oiliness and that wee bit of sweetness that you would expect of a Mexican lager. That's my basic first impression of it. So let's break the beer down and describe it a wee bit more kind of in depth. So, malty side of things, backbone of this beer, there's a little bit of a kind of fresh white bread crust. On top of that, absolutely some white bread. In the middle third of the palate, you start to get some of the sweetness out of this one. You can feel that sort of oily corn base. In the middle of the palate, there's a wee bit of a kind of butterscotchy, butter candy sort of thing in the very dead centre. That, of course, is the alcohol coming out of the beer. But as you move further out from that, you do get a little bit of a more McVitie's digestive, biscuity sort of thing to the beer. As you move further back on the palate, you'll start to get a little bit of crispness out of it, so I would suspect there's a wee bit of Pilsner malt in this one. That would make sense considering the rest of the flavour profile of this beer, which I do really like. Yeah, I think that goes together really quite nicely on that side of things. On the hoppy side of the beer, in the back corners of the palate, there is a little bit of earthiness there. As you move further forward, you get a little bit of a herbal quality. As you push to the front corners of the palate, it gets a little bit more floral. Then round the front curve of the tongue, it's absolutely a little bit more lighter and grassy. The green component in this beer is a little bit more sort of oily and things, so you do get a wee bit of that out of this one. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else we really need to report on the hop green side of things. Let's look at the fruity part of the beer. So,
it's annoying.
The fruity side of the beer is kind of what you'd expect. I get a little bit of a kind of sultana type vibe out of this one. There's a wee bit of an oily kind of pear as well. Maybe a tiny little bit of an apple-y note. But yeah, all things that you would kind of expect from a Mexican lager. Maybe a tiny little bit of a lemon lime, but the other fruits I mentioned a second ago, those kind of take precedent over that. But yeah, I think that covers everything in terms of flavour profile. So on the mouthfeel side of things, just to round off this one, light-bodied beer, middle end of light-bodied. Carbonation is quite crisp in this one. The mouthfeel has a little bit of that oily character you'd expect of a Mexican lager, but it's still a little bit wet. In terms of IBUs,
And then when you wake up a beer, it'll be like this. Yeah, just make a noise. It just goes.
I feel that this one is just a little touch more bitter, but at the absolute most, this beer is 20 IBUs. The malt base is nice and smooth. It's also got a wee bit of sweetness to it. And you've also got a little bit of that oily, fruity character that you expect. But in terms of a Mexican lager, I think this one is really nice, and it's not often that you will find this beer on tap, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to try this one here at Digbeth. So yeah, this was the Cancun, a 4.5% Mexican lager, and yeah, that is the end of your second and penultimate beer review here at Digbeth in Birmingham. Catch you guys in a second. We are going to do something a little bit heavier, and it will be a group review, this one. So catch you guys very soon. Cheers. Alright guys, so they have a nice little fridge here that you can buy things out of as well, and here is the magic Digbeth slushy machine. But yeah, you can see the pale ales range between £4.40 and £4. So £4.40 is going to be about €5.50, $5.50, 55 Swedish kroner, something like that. But yeah, you can see they have the Pution, the Surf, and the Björn Die. They also have some Imperial Stouts down here. So these are about £8 or £7. So that is maybe about €9, $9, 95 Swedish kroner, something like this. Eddie Toast's Judge Doom. The Eddie Fines Judge Doom, so I think this is just the barrel-aged version of that one. We have the Eddie Draws Judge Doom. We've got a few other ones here. These are the different barley wines, of course, aged in different things. So Mr. Wood, 4 Roses, that is a barley wine. And then here it's aged in Heaven Hill casks, which is pretty cool. But yeah, down here, some milk stouts. So we have the milk plus coffee, the milk plus birthday cake, and then we have this one here, which I can't quite read. But yeah, some IPAs down here. The Oh No, It's Jolly Days. How to Douk a Wolf, your 5th birthday. Down here you have the table beer, Hut Hut, Lunch and Bar. We have the Pizza House, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, we missed out on the pizzas today. We have the California Sour. We have another sour over here. And then we've got some kind of big beasts and things down here, some Imperials and stuff. So it's actually a very nice, quite interesting fridge that you have here at Digbeth. So yeah, you can get some really quite random beers and different styles here. So there we are. Alright guys, well, time for our third and final tasting then. So we have Harry, who you've seen in many reviews, but we also have Adam of Mersey Beers. And this beer that we are going to review now is one that he's chosen. So Adam, do you want to introduce this beer?
So this is a beer from Digbeth, and it's called Eddie Draws from Judge Doom. And it is an Imperial Stout.
Says a bourbon oak aged Imperial coffee dessert stout at 11% ABV.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's got green wax on the top.
It is, which the bar staff lovingly cut off with a Stanley knife.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, this bottle for me, because I remember seeing this on
my channel.
Brewski Beers.
From my channel originally. From Blue Nose Beer Reviews.
Blue Nose Beer Reviews.
That's the first review.
That's it. So yeah, the very first review of this beer was on Harry Blue Nose Beer Reviews. So yeah, appearance-wise, as you can see, lovely dark ebony rosewood colour. It is, yeah, lovely dark ebony rosewood colour. I would say a little bit. What the fuck is going on? Is it actually okay?
Yeah,
still going, okay. Some weird shit going on with Harry's phone. But yeah, as you can see, lovely dark ebony rosewood colour. When it was poured out the bottle, it had a little bit of a kind of fawn coloured head. Not too much in the way of visible carbonation. I think it's time to look at the nose, eh? Let's have a look at the nose. Oh, yeah.
Dark espresso coffee mixed with chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I love coffee beans as an adjunct. I think just coffee bean just adds so much depth to the beer. For me, this is a very aromatic and very kind of and very floral coffee. Very aromatic floral. A little bit of red fruit on the coffee as well. Anything else?
Burnt powder.
Oh yeah, you get a nice like earthy roast out. I get quite a wee bit of like, you know, treacly brown sugar out of this one as well.
Not from the earlier.
It's literally just smoky coffee.
Dark chocolate.
I mean, coffee bean dominates this one.
Baker's dark chocolate.
Oh yeah. Big like 80-90% cocoa. And thing, yeah. This is all dark chocolate, all like big aromatic coffee. I do get a wee bit of treacle out of this, but not a lot, in fairness.
And if you beat it, you get a very sort of, I'm trying to get the head on the video. It's a very tan, very tan head.
Yeah, lovely dark tan head for sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think what do you get on the kind of hoppy and fruity side of the beer?
Nothing. It's all low.
I mean, I get a wee bit of grassiness.
I say I like spiciness, but I think that's more tobacco.
I think there's a wee bit of grassiness, but you also get this big like chocolate brownie, chocolate muffin kind of thing.
That from the malt rather than the hops.
Yeah, I do think though there is a bit of grassiness to this on the hoppy side of things, but fruity side for me, bit of plum, bit of raisin, bit of like blackberry almost as well. It has got a wee bit of blackberry, kind of sharpness for sure. But yeah, I mean more than anything else, it's coffee, isn't it?
It's big espresso, dark chocolate espresso.
I think we should also say the barrel aging part of this isn't that prominent.
No.
The barrel on this, I mean, this is bourbon barrel aged.
You don't get any spirit.
It's not that obvious. It is not that obvious. I think we should dig into this one. You might want to get in a wee bit, Adam. There we go. Slange it. There we go. That's a lovely beer, right?
Silky.
Oh yeah.
Very rich.
It reminds me of like I don't know if you guys would have had it, but like
Yeah, a little bit on the back.
I don't know if you guys would have had it, but like the Dugas Hunter and Sons Imperial Stout.
We can get it, but it's so expensive, so we don't buy it.
A little bit £10.
Yeah, I mean Hunter and Sons. Obviously, Hunter and Sons is a little coffee roastery from down Harry's Way in Bristol, but they're not in existence anymore. But Dugas Brewery did some beautiful imperial stouts for these guys, and this really reminds me of those actually.
So roasty, dark chocolate, coffee, smoky.
Not that thin either.
Yeah,
Not thick body.
it's not the thickest. Though.
No.
No.
It's not like Vault City. Vault City stouts are like you take your breakfast in the tin.
Exactly. Yeah.
This has got a decent. Yeah.
It's just an update.
You got a decent body to it, but it's not heavy.
I mean, for me, it's got roasty, toasty, bread crusty backbone. There's definitely a bit of wood and tobacco a bit further forward there.
Yeah.
The coffee bean is like toward the back third of the palate, I think.
Prominent throughout.
But I think mostly on the back third of the palate though. And again, for me, it's kind of quite aromatic. The coffee's like quite an aromatic bean.
Yeah.
For sure. You don't get as much of the roasty side of the coffee in the flavour as you do the aroma, I think.
So I think there's plenty of roastiness on the bitterness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it kind of scratches its way through your palate. It's like still fucking there.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
fucking there.
And it almost dries the mouth out.
Yeah.
How rich it is.
It's still there, lingering on the kind of outside.
Yeah.
It's still there.
I think as well with the coffee, I mean, I love it. Coffee beans are probably my favourite adjunct because they can just add so much depth to the beer.
And it depends on the variation of coffee as well.
Yeah, there's coffee, Indonesian, Rwandan, Vietnamese, yeah.
So sweet.
You get coffee beans from all over the world. They're like hops. It's as diverse as hops. But for me, this I get a lot of red fruit on this coffee bean as well. Actually.
It's again the cascara.
Yeah.
Which I said earlier.
Oh yeah, the brown sugar. Yeah.
Which is like weird brown sugar cascara, which is giving you with like cherry note as well.
Yeah.
It's got like a chalky element as well to it. It's like I know you get that with really high dense dark chocolate. You have that chalky finish. I think you get that in it as well.
It's actually the same thing as the other beers we have
No.
back in the day, which have been chalky and silky.
I mean, I think this one for me as well. The more you drink of this, the more kind of cakey it gets. You get this big chocolate brownie sort of thing.
And with any chocolate brownie, you get that dry sensation at the end. You don't get
It's dry and lightly bitter.
Yeah.
But not completely bitter, but dry and lightly.
Yeah. I think for me, any chocolate you get with this, it is like we're in Birmingham. It's ironic to say, but we're in Birmingham. but it's Bourneville dark chocolate.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big high 80-90% over chocolate you're getting out of this one.
Powdery.
It gives you a wee bit of dryness in the aftertaste, but for sure, this is 11%. I get quite a bit of treacle in the middle of the palate and that booziness.
I'd like to put it on a 330 bottle, which is like in 2022 that is rare.
That's very rare.
Yeah.
A stubby bowl.
Yeah, this is quite rare to find, and for me, I call this the Brewski stubby because it's it's brewery in Skåne. This is the brewery that always used to do it. The stubbies.
But in the UK, it's very rare. Braybook. Braybook are pretty.
No, but their beers are theirs are not stubbies like this.
It's very similar.
But theirs are a bit thick. The glass is thicker.
Yeah, and it's taller.
These ones you can love at people.
These are what the Brum City
I'm
fans.
fucking loving them people. That's what.
This is what the Brum City fans use to throw at the Aston Villa
I'm
fans.
fucking loving them people. But they doing this.
He's going to love them. Anyway, yeah.
The Braybook ones are slightly taller with a taller neck, but it's the same.
I fucking love them at people.
consistency.
I will. I fucking love them stubbies. That's yours. Drink that yourself.
But I think the other thing you get out of this though, further you go into it, a little bit of tobacco for sure.
Yeah.
I do get a bit of treacle in the middle of the palate. I get a bit of that kind of highly caramelized brown sugar. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I mean, hoppy side of things, teeny bit of grassiness from the front of the palate, otherwise not a lot. Front third of the palate. Yeah. Chocolate, yeah. I mean, front third of the palate, chocolate brownie. Baker's dark chocolate brownie.
Straight out the packet.
Yeah. Fruity side of things, I think, what would you say? I think it's got a wee bit of like a plummy, raisiny note, but then it's more oily.
Coffee, caramel.
Raisins, toffee, caramel. You know, the stuff that gets stuck to the baker's tray.
Dry blueberry maybe.
That's a good shout, dry blueberry. Raisins, sultanas, yeah. It's definitely got that. Mouthfeel wise, full bodied.
Very dry. You're not ending up with any moisture on your mouth as soon as you finish it.
See,
I say medium. The beers we've had back up is 6 medium.
Yeah, I think like middle of the road, full bodied for me. Not as heavy as the Scandinavian stouts, but the Nordic stouts are very difficult to beat. So I think that's fair. It's a very oily, sticky sort of thing, which I think is where you guys will go with it. IBUs, it's not too bitter. 50, 60 IBUs.
I wouldn't even say that.
No, I go that way because
It's dry. The malt gives you the dryness of that. So some of the bitterness from the coffee, I think. I'd say 60 is the upper side, 50, 60 I think. Yeah. Big sweet malt base, lovely big smooth coffee sort of thing, and then a big oily fruitiness.
It's unusual to get that drying sensation. You still, I agree, you get that sweetness, but you also, it's really dry on the finish.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this really reminds me of the old Hunter and Sons Dugas collaborations. What was it, the Key and the Sedamo Dintu? And there was other ones before that as well. But yeah.
This is their range. Their range is always Eddie something.
Okay.
Eddie somethings have always been banging beers.
Eddie's cracking. Okay, well guys, if you try Dig Brew, you're hearing it from Harry, you're hearing it from Adam. Eddie anything from Dig Brew is going to be very good. So this one,
That Imperial's that range.
yeah, and there's a few others in the fridge as well, as you saw earlier. So this one is called Eddie Draw's Judge Doom. They're describing it as a bourbon oak-aged imperial coffee dessert stout, 11%. I think it's fair to say we didn't really notice the barrel aging that much on this. No.
It's there, but it's nothing massive.
Yeah, there's maybe a teeny bit of vanilla in the aftertaste.
I think it needs longer than that.
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't say how long, but yeah, it's got lots of foreign writing on it. It's got all the Japanese. Harry and I have been doing too much hooligan English this this trip. But yeah, I think we can all agree this is a very nice beer. This is a very nice one. So if you come to Digbeth here in Birmingham in Digbeth, anything that has Eddie on the name, I don't know if that's a tribute to Iron Maiden, but Iron Maiden are fabulous anyway. Have a go at anything from Digbeth that has Eddie on it. That is your third and final beer tasting. I'll give you our final thoughts outside in a little bit. But very nice to have Adam on the channel for the first time, and Harry has been joining in for a little while. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Slange it. Alright guys, well that is time for us to finish then here at Digbeth in Digbeth in Birmingham. So we've got Harry joining us, we've got Adam doing some very awkward kind of lunges in front of the camera, and that's that. So yeah, managed to try 3 different beers here. Prices were very reasonable as you saw. So we tried the Cancun Lager, the Surf West Coast Pale Ale, and also one of the big Imperial Stouts. And both Harry and Adam, who are doing very awkward things, I got them, get it up here. They're just walking around being awkward bastards just now, to be quite honest. But yeah, we tried 3 really nice beers here. Prices were really good. Unfortunately, we were an hour late for the pizzas and stuff like that. But yeah, this was really nice. Now Adam's groaning a little bit. I just got him again. He's not quick enough for me. And then Harry is walking round like this, isn't it? He's walking round and round and round. And now I'm going to get dizzy. So there's the 2 of them. But yeah, we had fun here at Digbeth. If you find yourself in Birmingham, go and check it out. I'm just going to let Harry walk round and get dizzy, and then Adam's doing his lunges like that, trying to be athletic. So yeah. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Check out my social media. Check out Harry at Blue Nose Beer Reviews Media, and check out Adam at Mercy Beer Reviews. But yeah, thanks.
Arsely internet.
Arsely the internet. But yeah, thanks to these guys for joining me. It's really nice to have Adam on the channel for the first time, and Harry, obviously, you've seen a good number of times now. He's trying a bit of cultural appropriation with that Africa t-shirt, but it's Birmingham. Yeah. So yeah, guys, that is Remington. Yeah. Oh, but guys, that is Digbeth here in Digbeth in Thingway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Catch you guys on the next out and about video. Slange just now.